why, even though we know about getting the job and wanting the job, but why do you feel Morehouse is a good fit for you?
You know, that's a really, really good question. I get that question a lot. You know, here's an opportunity for all that I've done in football, all the resources that I have, that I give opportunity to our people,
Right.
to our young men.
Right.
You know, I've coached everywhere, but I have never coached a group of our own.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, I don't want to waste what I have.
Right.
And not give them an opportunity to hear or get what I have. Well, I always tell them this. I said, I got the answers to the test. I said, life skills, get to the next level. I got the answers to the test.
Right.
And so I want to share it with them.
Right.
You know, those who really want it.
Yeah.
And those who really need it to bring their parents out of or their families out of, you know, to help support their families, or those that have a dream to do so. I had a dream at, 9 years old that I wanted to play professional football.
Right.
So we try to help them navigate through some of the, pit holes and obstacles and all these things that's going to face them. It's amazing because of the fact that I tell them all the time in our meetings, I says, hey, you come to me and say, Coach, my girlfriend's pregnant. I've been there. Coach, this is true. This is real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm partying too much. How can I get? I've been there. And then the other ones is my mother died. I've been there.
Yeah.
My grandmother, my grandfather died. I've been there. I get it.
Yeah.
Coach, I just, I'm struggling in school whatsoever, that I'm going to be ineligible. I've been there. So you come to me, I've been there.
Right.
So I think this is why it fits.
Okay.
You have a person that's sitting in the seat that's been there.
Right.
And done
Right.
that and seen that, all these things. We had a young man that was not going to come back to school. He stopped playing spring because he's from Compton, L.A. His best friend gets shot. Then not only that, he had some financial issues whatsoever. 3.8 student, biology major.
Come
Not
on,
coming
man.
back. He has to come back to
Yeah,
school,
right.
Yeah.
He has to come
We
back
gotta
to
find a
school.
way.
His uncle calls me, says, Coach, what can we do? I says, well, what do we need to do? So what we did is we found a way to give him some financial support and whatsoever, and he's coming back.
That's
So
what's up.
it's, people can knock you. Oh, Coach Mathis is not a good leader. Why you hire him? He never been a head football coach at the collegiate level, this and that and this. You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
You cannot. There's going to be some people, man, I guarantee you, as we said it before, Nick Saban gets emails all the time about why my baby ain't playing,
Man,
why he didn't
why
play in the
you
national
call that
championship
play?
game. All those
wide
things.
open. Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
I know my buddy at Clark Atlanta gets it too.
Yeah.
But guess what? You got to keep swimming, man.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
keep swimming, and when you get tired, you just tread water.
Just trail.
And then keep swimming again.
Coach, I have to ask you this because when you came out of Redan, at that time, kids weren't going to go away to school. How does a kid from Decatur end up way out in New Mexico?
I did that twice.
I always wanted to ask you that question.
New Mexico.
How did you end up in New Mexico from Redan?
It's simple. I was going to Georgia Southern. Remember Tracy Hand?
Yeah.
I was a quarterback. I was
Right.
gonna be
You gonna
Tracy Hand.
run the handball?
Yeah, I was gonna run the handbone. I don't know if they was gonna call it the handbone. when
Right,
I
right.
got
They had
there.
to call it the T-back bone.
The T-bone. There it is. The T-bone. So the coordinator, he was recruiting me, and he loved it. He said, you're going to do this and do that. So he leaves, 3 weeks pass. I ain't hear nothing. I'm like, what? And I'm like, Mom. I said, he hasn't called me. So then finally he calls one night and says, Terance, I'm at New Mexico. He said, do you know where? I said, no.
No.
I said, nope. Back then, here's the funny thing. You couldn't Google it. But you had that little encyclopedia. Britannica,
Hey,
right?
flipping.
So
You take your ruler and try to
flipping.
gauge how far it is.
Yeah, you flipping. So he recruited me at New Mexico. And then that was the only Division I school gave me a scholarship. So I had to go. So I went to school as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And the story how I became a receiver was almost like, oops. I went to the freshman comes in early.
Yeah.
And I was 6 on the depth chart, moved up to 1. So I remember, man, God, dog, it was Rick Trickett. Rick Trickett is offensive line coached in, Power 5, Ole Miss, some of these schools, country guy.
Right.
And we there, and I remember the day we had a little scrimmage whatsoever, and it had rained before, so it was muddy whatsoever. So towards the end of the scrimmage, he looks at me, he says, "Why your jersey and your pants are so white?" Being sarcastic. I says to him, like, "Coach, they can't touch me." Then he grabbed mud, started throwing it on me, kicking it on me. I took it a different way because this white man kicking stuff on me.
Like, what is going on here?
But then he says, "Wait until the upperclassmen get here. We're going to see if you have all that cockiness then." A week later, we have another scrimmage. And I'm sitting there, and I'm not getting in. The offensive coordinator comes over to me and says to me, he says, "Hey, the head coach said, look, you're probably not going to play any quarterback today." He said, "But you need to be on the field doing something." He says, "Can you play receiver?" I said, "Sure, coach. I know the position. I've been in the quarterback meetings." So he says, "You're going to play the slot today." I run in a huddle, jog in, first play. It's a reverse to me. I get the reverse. Bruh, I go 60 yards, untouched.
Yeah.
And then I caught a touchdown and threw 2 touchdowns in that scrimmage. So now everybody's going, "What in the world is this?" You got to understand now, they ain't seen a Georgia boy like
Right,
this.
no.
This is Georgia football.
Right.
So I played sparingly the first game, returned some punts, played a little offense, and then the second game I was like, "Oh." So he started me the second game at wide receiver.
Yeah.
4 catches, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I said, "Coach, I think I like it out here." I said, "I like it out here." But here's the crazy thing. My sophomore year, I was the backup quarterback. When the other quarterback got banged up or something,
And you had to move
I had
back.
to go play quarterback. So that was the fun part. But then after they got fired, I went to receiver for a time, and then that's when just magic happened, man.
I had to get down to that question because everybody, always, how he end up in New Mexico? I'm going to ask him because I didn't understand it from Decatur to New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's
It
tough.
was culture shock, bro.
It had to be.
Boy, it was, oh my God. I called my mom collect every day.
Phone bill high.
After that second week, she said, "Boy, don't you call me no
Miss
more."
Mathis' phone bill high.
And see, y'all don't understand. It ain't just we couldn't just
See,
call everywhere
we didn't
in America.
have just
There was a lane called long distance.
long distance.
Long distance.
And New
you had
Mexico
pay
to
for it.
Atlanta.
You had to pay for it. Yeah.
It's
And it was
not
high.
It was high.
It was
She said,
high.
"Boy, you better not call me collect
All young
again."
people will never understand.
Call
long
somebody
distance.
collect you want to.
She said, "Write me."
Yeah.
I said, "Mama,
Yeah.
you know I ain't writing you no
Stamps
letter."
are cheaper.
Yeah.
So it was. So I had to stop calling her so much, man.
That's crazy.
Let me ask you this, Coach. In a time when names have been getting jobs and jumping, and people they don't have problems with other coaches, and I won't say no names, getting jobs. 12 years you waited for this. How did you keep yourself? I told you, you said that you were about to give it up, but how did you go through this and not say, "Man, I should be"? What are we waiting on right now? How did you keep yourself humble? I guess so much.
Well, I tried to stay busy. Coach, it's funny. I coached Little League. I coached middle school. I coached high school.
Yeah.
I coached in some collegiate all-star games. I did as much as I can.
Right.
Personal training whatsoever. But I remember about 2 years ago, when I was maybe 3 years ago, that I was really thinking about quitting.
Yeah.
And I was at my older sister's wedding, and I was sitting at the table with this pastor. And he looked at me. He said, "I know you, but I can't figure out where it is.
Right.
Something about you." And he leaned over to me. This is no lie. He leaned over to me and said, "Don't you get weary. You keep going. Don't you grow weary." And I says, and I got chill bumps.
Right.
And I was like, this man don't know me from Adam. But he says, "Don't you grow weary." And that's what kept me going. That's what kept me going. And then my buddies would call me, "Hey, man, after the cycles are over with, hey, man, don't you quit." Brian Jordan, he'll see me, he said, "Don't you give up. Don't you give up." My buddies, every time they say, "Don't you give up. Your time is going to happen."
Yeah.
They call me today, and I have some days where I'm like, "Whoa." And they go, "Hey, man, This is your time.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
Don't you let anybody take your joy.
That's what's up.
And dude, this is my time.
Yeah.
This is my time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, a lot of coaches when it says, "Well, coach? How you gonna win? What needs to happen?" You hear a lot of coaches say, "Well, we got to change the culture.
Yeah.
We got to recruit better,
Right.
and when we do those two things, then we'll probably get better and win some football games." 2 years have passed.
Yeah.
I ain't got 2 years.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
got to win them all.
Right.
So I got to speak life into my young men and into the program. I'm trying to win them all. And that's not being cocky or brass, because my mom told me, she says, "Baby, set your goals so high. If you
Boy.
fall short, you'll still be among stars."
Without a doubt.
Let me follow that up real quick, man.
Ooh.
So what is the first thing you do to win them at Morehouse?
It's not about changing the culture. It's about changing the atmosphere. The atmosphere reaches more people than it does the culture.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? The culture is a body of people doing the same things outside of what other people are doing, right? So it's just you're only building the culture inside, so you're only getting better in this little pocket of things.
Right.
But if you change the atmosphere, you, Miss Nikki, you come in and help us grow
Right.
and help the atmosphere change with your positive talk, with your prayers, and your speaking life amongst the kids.
Yeah.
Now, if we keep it in the culture, I'm not allowing you to get close to my young men. I'm not allowing you to. So I'm letting people. I have teammates flying in next week just to be a part of what we're doing. So
Right.
I'm
Right.
allowing. Look, Ed Reed is about to join my staff. So we're bringing championship pedigree
The
where
GOAT.
we're changing the atmosphere. Thermostat stuff.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Not thermometer.
Is that
Not
breaking
thermometer.
news? That break-
Thermostat stuff. We're changing it. Turn up the heat.
Is that breaking news?
No, that's no.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm
not-
just messing with you.
Not breaking news.
Go ahead, Mason.
Well, one of the things when you talk about the change, and we kind of talked about it before the show, local kids recruiting, staying within the city limits, and that helps build the culture.
Right.
Talk about your efforts in making sure that the city,
Right.
APS, the CAV,
Right.
all of these
Right.
all of these programs becoming part of the Morehouse family.
Well, first thing we set out to do was, in our recruiting efforts, we said, okay, let's go to the high schools, and then we said, let's go to JUCO, and then let's hit the port. And then our method was, is he just as good or better than what we have?
Mm-hmm.
Can he play Division I football in the next year or two? And then the X factor, does he have a desire to play on Sundays? That's how we recruited. At the end of the day, there has to be some kind of professionalism you want to accomplish when you leave Morehouse.
Right.
Doctor, lawyer, whatever it is. Not just to put on the logo on the side of your helmet and play football. You see what I'm saying? So we recruited that way. Then we looked at it and we said, okay, where are the dudes? So we said, so you look at rosters, you look at Alabama, you even look at Georgia, you look at a lot of schools in the SEC whatsoever, and another group 5 of schools that's in the local area, Troy and all those schools, and you look at their rosters, that dude from Atlanta.
The dude from Atlanta.
That dude from
That
Stone
dude-
Mountain. That dude
Yep.
from Gwinnett.
Yep.
That dude from the Cooler. That dude from there and that there. So we said, okay, all right, we may not get him, but we're gonna go after him.
No doubt about it.
We're not afraid to go after 5 stars.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and I'm giving a little secret. I feel that if I'm recruiting 5 stars, and they go, hey, I got an offer from Morehouse College, knowing they're not coming, guess what happens? That 4-star, 3-star,
The
2-star,
spreads.
that other dude gonna say, okay, something's happening at
Something
Morehouse.
going on
hey,
at
coach,
Morehouse.
hit me up. Here's my
Yep.
film, blah, 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 this and that. And and even transfer portal, we getting some dudes that can play at a very high level, and we're excited about what we're doing.
Somehow I used to always hear about when we old school, we back in the 90s when we played at Brown, is how do you tell athletic kids to come to a academic institution like Morehouse?
It's not hard. It's really not hard because the high academic kid understands that a Morehouse degree is
Oh yeah,
huge.
yeah.
It doesn't stand second to
Nobody.
Cal Berkeley or Stanford
Nobody.
or Harvard or any. It's not.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, I do. You know, I truly believe that when your resume comes out and say you graduated from Morehouse, they know the struggles you had to go
Boy,
through
come on
to
now.
get there. They know the work ethic that you put in to get that degree. So I want that dude
Yeah,
in my company.
yeah.
What's up?
Got to ask you this because you being a receiver and you play quarterback too. Are you a little bit tougher doing the process on those guys at practice? Dude, we know you're supposed to oversee the team, but sometimes do you like, let me go down here to receiver drill. Let me go see what you're
He
doing.
getting out of that break fast. Yeah. He getting out of that break fast.
Dude, stop landing that plane.
Hey man,
Get out that break.
hey man, I'm telling you,
I already
that
know.
first spring, I'm coaching quarterbacks, I'm coaching receivers. I'm going, what are y'all doing? I'm catching snaps, making drops, throwing balls, and they said, "Oh, it's like that, coach." I said, "Dude, it's that simple." I am very demanding on the quarterbacks and the wide receivers.
I bet.
I am. When I say I'm so detail oriented that it's just they look at me and just go. I says, "Hey man, to play this game, you gotta know every aspect of what you're doing. I mean, the fine tuning." I'm like, "Dude, why did you do that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
why?" And it's not to a point where I embarrass them because one thing I don't do, I'm not a yeller, I'm not a cusser. I tell them I'm not going to embarrass you in front of your teammates, your
right.
peers, your friends, your family,
Coaching
or
you up.
anybody else.
Coaching you up.
Because at the end of the day, I'm saying, come here.
Yeah.
What was your thinking? Okay, what did I tell you to do?
Yeah.
What were you coached to do?
Yeah.
Why did you not do that?
Yeah.
Now, when you say to me, I thought, that means it's 50-50.
Right.
Or if you tell me, I seen and I believe that was going to happen, that's a whole different thing.
Right.
When you say I thought, that means you weren't thinking.
Yeah. They think coach want to hear that.
I don't want to hear
Yeah,
I thought. I don't want to hear I thought. I thought he was going to be open. Well, did you read the coverage? And
Right.
did it tell you that he was going to be
That
open?
part.
You know, but
That
that's your
part.
boy over there. So
Yeah.
you want to get him a
Trying to
ball.
feed him a little bit.
No. He going to get his balls. You just got to let the system do his thing.
I'll end it with this, Coach, because we got Coach Keaton coming up next. Let me ask you this. What can fans, not only at Morehouse, but in the SIAC, expect from a Coach Terance Mathis team at
Energy.
Morehouse?
Boy, you
I
gonna
can see
see
that.
a lot of energy. Speed, flying around. I don't care if we down 40 to nothing. You're gonna see the same energy if it was 0-0. I mean, they're gonna play their butts off. They're gonna run through walls if they have to. Because let me tell you something. Because when I come out there every day and I start stretch, it's energy. When I'm done, I'm soaked because I'm running drills, I'm throwing balls, running routes, doing pursuit drills. So if they see their coach
Right.
with all that energy, you can't help
Can't help
but
it.
have
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
It rubs off.
Yeah.
And I make it a point to, love on them. I high five each and every one of them. I speak to them whatsoever. I want them to know that I am all in with you. And that's what you're going to see. They're going to be all in with each other.
Last one for me, Coach. Your experience, your journey. Do the kids truly, and they probably don't understand it now, but do you think they understand, like you talk about answers to the test, that they have a true blueprint that they can walk in his office every day and just sit and ask him? Do you think they understand that yet?
They haven't realized it yet. But here's the funny thing is, some that know or who didn't know, put it that way,
Yeah.
come to me and say, "Coach, you were that dude when you played. I
They
didn't know."
hit the Google.
Yeah.
They hit the Google.
They say, "I didn't know."
They hit the
And
Google.
I go, "Well," and we always joke. I say, "Hey man, what you think?"
I caught a lot of passes and a lot of yards, everybody.
I mess with them all the time. I say, "Hey man, I was that dude."
Yeah.
But here's
Those are facts.
And here's the thing. I always tell them this. I says, look, guys, and that's why we have so much fun and so much energy. I said, don't be afraid to make a mistake. You're gonna make mistakes, and I'm not gonna
Part
get
of
on
the
you
game.
about it. I said, dude, I done muff balls with a minute 30 left in the game, and they got it back and 3 kneel downs and we lose.
Yeah.
I said, I done dropped touchdown balls. I done fell on routes that caused interceptions, and they was
Everybody.
paying me money to do all that in front of 80,000 people. I says, and dude, why would I get mad at you for making a mistake. I'm going to call a bad play. I'm going to put you in a bad situation,
Right.
and I'm going to come to you and say, my bad.
My bad.
I put you in a bad situation. So go out there and play free and have fun. You make a mistake, we'll correct it.
I would tell all the young people at Morehouse and whoever play for this guy, one of the things that I didn't get a chance to do, we was coached by Jim Mitchell from the Falcons. And Alfred Jenkins was a coach for us.
Alfred, yeah.
Learn from this. You can steal, gain, whatever you can. Coach, man, we thank you so much, man.
It's been a pleasure,
Hey,
man.
you know
I
where
can
we
talk
at?
all day.
You know where we at? We're going to get you back.
Well, we going to be over there.
Yeah.
We going to pull up on you.
Oh, come on.
I ain't never been to a spell house. I'm going to have to show up.
Come on.
But I know we'll be at the Clark
You ain't been to
Morehouse,
spell
man.
house?
No, you need
Oh.
you need to come to that one, but you need to come to opening day.
Okay.
It's going to be fire.
Say less.
It's going to be fire.
Done.
We're there. You there, Nikki?
Is at home, August 31st.
There it is.
3 o'clock kick
There it is.
We're going to get Coach Keaton in here. We're going to take a photo with Coach real quick.
Got to get a photo with Coach, everybody.
Then
So
Coach Keaton to come in here. And
we'll be right
talk to-
back.
My man.
I hope the mic ready.
Yeah.
I warmed it up for him.
Nikki, where do you want the photo?
From East Point to Buckhead, College Park to Bankhead. Dopest sports talk show on the radio. You heard what I said. Big Mason, Eagle, highlights and big plays. From the East Coast to the West Coast, from Oregon to Georgia State. Touchdowns and home runs, slam dunks and long runs. Athletes and sports junkies. If you got the knowledge, come get you some. Call in, let me hear your thoughts. Sound mad, get your team lost. Jerry Jones, cause I'm the boss. Call in, let me hear your thoughts. Crush, Jack, yeah, black on.
Come on over here, Coach.
Yeah, you on the hot seat right there, Coach.
All right, let's see what I got on the hot seat.
Oh, man.
I had to sit up, I'm short.
Yeah.
I need a little pillar behind me.
Take one,
Where
man.
my
Take-
booster seat at?
Hey, man, man, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and introduce him, man.
Hey, man. CAU Panther head coach. They call him a SIAC veteran. He's here to restore the Panther pride. Teddy Keaton to the microphone. What's up, Coach?
What's up, baby? How you doing?
What's happening?
Coach.
Good. It's good.
Get you there, man. I get you out there.
Oh, y'all, you forgot my booster seat. If you brought that, then we'd have been good. You got my feet dangling all off. I feel.
Nah, Coach, your feet on the ground. You good, Coach. Stop that. Stop
feel
that.
loose.
Coach, thank you for coming, man. I just want to make sure something. Why you but successful head coach before you come, a winning record. Why Clark and why now did you come to the CAU Panthers?
Why not Clark? I saw an opportunity. A team, a program that needed somebody. I think it's the right fit. It's the right time. The time it is now. I think that it's the Atlanta market. Who wouldn't want to be in the Atlanta market? Who wouldn't want to create a winner in the Atlanta market?
Right.
They always say don't follow in the steps of a successful man. But a place like Clark, Atlanta has only one way to go, and that's up.
Yes, sir.
I call it lightning in a bottle. The school is lit. Everything about Clark, Atlanta is a vibe. It's a whole vibe.
Shout out to Fair Street.
Can you imagine what it would be like if the football team was winning?
People don't know that, Coach. People think it's football
Set the tone for the whole season.
HBCU
Set the
football.
tone.
It's crazy the whole year.
No doubt about it.
Crazy the whole year.
I love the SIAC. I'm a baby of the SIAC.
Yeah.
I've been around at a couple teams in the SIAC.
Mm-hmm.
I built a couple programs in the SIAC, and I'm excited about the opportunity that has been presented. You can look at that as an opportunity, a challenge. I don't have to. I get to.
Yeah.
I get the opportunity to lead young men. So I changed the slogan of my program this year. Is going to be the reason. Be the reason why we great.
Be the reason why we're a winner. Be the reason. You can get your academics. We want you to have that.
Yeah.
But all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Oh,
So let's have a good time. 90,000 people don't according to the stadium just to watch the Mavs team. But they do gather to see a football team, and if you're winning, it'd be real exciting to have that now.
Boy, Coach, you talked about that Atlanta market, and you talked about how this city, and Coach Mathis just talked about it, and I want to hear you talk about how winning the city first and foremost, building those relationships with the programs in the city first. Talk about that part of it.
That's the most important thing. I've been recruiting Atlanta for a long time. So that's why it made it very easy for me to come. And I always had that one question. Why can't Clark and Morehouse go get the guys right there in the city? You got great programs here. And I came in, and a lot of other programs come in and just rob it.
Yeah.
Well, it's expensive for an inner city kid. So you got to figure out to make arrangements with your administrations and different things. And I did make some arrangements so that I could bring Atlanta back. Atlanta kids be there. Atlanta folks come see them. The media want to be a follow-up. They want to follow them. I think that there's a lot of hidden gems in this place that go off and make superstar names for themselves. Right. So why not right there at Clark, Atlanta?
How would you describe your coaching style?
I'm aggressive. I've had the number 1 offense or the number 2 offense for the last 9 years in the SIAC.
Facts.
I like to score the ball. I'm high-powered. Unlike Coach Mathis, me and Jesus have an agreement that between 6 and 8 it's Teddy Keaton time, and we're going to get there. And the players know.
That's tweetable. Tweetable moment right there. I'm using that.
I think they love football, and God understands that that's what we're here for, and, it's missionary work we're doing now.
Yeah.
So the kids, I think young men need a guy that they can relate to. I don't think it needs to be all work and all play. We talk about a lot of things about what we do for young men, but what does football do for young men?
Yeah.
So most of us in this room, football touched our lives.
Saved my life.
Some
Coach.
of it, you were somebody. Your coach was your daddy. He was the first man you looked up to. So I always try to remember, I had a poem that said, "The eyes that look up to me." So I had to remember how I carry myself, what I do, what I bring to the table, what I say to them is very impressionable. So I love the kids. They know I love them. That's why, everybody asks me about the transfers and all the people. I say, well, you shouldn't ask me about the transfer. I didn't recruit them. They recruited me.
Right.
So when they saw that I left, what did they do? They got in the portal. So that tells you that they love who they got coached by, and they want to finish out what they was doing, where they were at.
Watch this face, Coach. You know who we talked about before we came up? Coach Greg.
I mean, son, I give you guys thousands and thousands.
That's our favorite guy.
That's my
Our guy, man.
Coach Thompson is my guy too. That's my guy. Coach Thompson is the smartest man you ever met, and he is the funniest man. If you sit him in a room, you're gonna laugh for 2 hours.
The whole time.
3. 4 even.
I'm sorry, I didn't tell you that because we talked about saying Coach. We love Coach.
That's my guy.
That's our guy.
That's our guy.
And it's funny because you talk about offense, and we know in today's times, if you have an explosive offense, it's so much easier to recruit because I know in your offense, especially Allen, your second, your third, and fourth guys were getting 40, 50 catches.
Ain't that exciting?
What?
When you want to be the backup guy?
What?
I mean, we make sure everybody touch the ball. The receivers are like, they like a group of women, and they get to arguing in the locker room when they didn't get no balls. But then we make it competition. So now that guy's working hard so he can make sure he did not do him. And every week they competing to who gonna catch the most balls. Yeah. And I like it. I love it. I love the competition amongst them. And my quarterbacks, they like giving the ball. I tell them all the time, keep everybody happy. Dish it out now. Yeah. I'm gonna call a play for him. I'm gonna call one for you. And it's gonna come to you now. Just be patient. And it gets everybody running the routes and keeping them involved in the offense.
Yeah. I got to follow up with this one because you're a Coach Thompson disciple. In your offense, you run a lot of mesh, but you run that high-low choice too that Greg Thompson made famous.
The dig concept.
Yes, sir.
The dig concept. Yes, sir. It's called shallow. So you run it. You can run it from the H. You can run it from the Y. You can run it from the Z. You can run it from any which way you want to run it. But it's a cover 2 and cover 4 beater. They find it if it's man to man, we gonna hit it. We gonna try to hit the dig. But if that drive route come over, and that's your first read. Let's get it to him, baby.
The gift. We call it the gift.
The gift right there.
That's the gift right there. Take that. Take that.
Yeah.
That's right. And if he don't take that a couple times to make that linebacker come down or make somebody commit to it, because what people don't realize, you send that post to the backside of the dig, that safety is going to either take that post, but if
He gonna be wrong.
It's something about that candy. When you put that dig in his face, he drives right down
He
on
gonna
him.
jump down
Yeah,
on it.
so sometimes I tell just hold it a few seconds, we're going to get this touchdown shot.
Matter of
right here.
fact, just look him to the D.
That's right. We're trying to get him off that hash. Get him off the hash. Get him off the hash. And I get excited when it happened, man. I like for the kids the pure fact that you still get to suit up and put it on. And I tell these kids it's gonna be gone in a minute now. The one thing about me, I've never worked, because football is not work. It is fun. I love it.
Yeah.
I enjoy the kids every year. But you know, football is almost becoming, the head coach is becoming like a general manager now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're putting a team together.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you make good roster moves.
Yeah.
You got to understand what you're trying to accomplish. And if you're an offensive coach, you got to take off your offensive hat and you got to think about the defensive side of the
Right.
ball. And you
Right.
got to make now this NIL deal, it's not more as prevalent in D2 football.
Right,
But
right.
don't think that the conversation don't happen. You know, everybody
Oh.
think they need $2 here and 20 cents.
Listen,
Yeah,
everybody think they can get a Kentucky Fried Chicken
That's
deal.
right, that's right.
Man, let me get a Popeyes deal,
Right
Coach.
over
What's
the
up?
phone, Coach. I need that deal.
Coach, I need a West End Mall deal. Can I get some gift cards?
Yes, sir. I tell them they all gonna ask that question. I tell people all the time now. This year is gonna be the first time I'm not calling plays.
Oh wow.
I have relinquished my power of calling plays, and I'm allowing an offensive coordinator. But he got my mindset. But I'm
Okay.
Go ahead, man. Ask the question, Coach. I think we both asked the same question. I think it's the same question.
Coach, how hard is it gonna be
Coach, I mean,
to just be sitting there listening, arms folded, and not saying no? Don't call that. Coach, how difficult is that gonna be, Coach?
we don't know
You
yet.
practicing?
I'm practicing.
Have you
on it.
practiced it?
I did it all spring. But I interrupted. I got
I know
into
you
it with the O-line coach. I got into it with my running back coach. And I've been telling them power is a A-gap play. We're pressing the hole. We are not doing this. On the stretch, we're trying to get to the edge of the tight end and stop, the quarterback job to get the ball to you, not your job.
Yeah.
And it's been hard, but I think it's going to work out for us. I have to be able to manage both sides. There's 3 phases to a football team.
Without a doubt.
And it's offense, defense, and
And them
special teams.
freaking special
And I
teams.
think that special teams is a third of the game. And I just think that there's an opportunity here to allow other people to give them the opportunity that I've had
Right.
and to grow other coaches. I think it's the best thing to do is to mentor other people, get them the opportunity to be able to do what I get to do. But if it gets out of hand, I'm like Lou Holtz told his son, I'm going to let you call the first play, and after that, I'm taking over.
That was a good play. Now, let's get to the real ones. Talk to me. What was your first message to the Clark Atlanta team when you first got here?
I'm going to let everybody stay. I'm going to give you a chance. We're going to go through because there's some good pieces here. There's some bad pieces here. I wanted to establish the culture. So most coaches go into a place that's been 0-10, and they tear the whole place down.
Blow
We
it up.
all know that that's not the right way to do it.
Right.
You got to think about the kids that invested and made that commitment to Clark Atlanta University. And me as a coach, it was easy for me to go in and say, well, let's make it through spring ball. Let's find out what's good. Let's find out what's bad. And then now we can recruit the rest and figure out how we're going to fit the pieces in. And that's exactly what we did. There's no secret to, success. I tell people, it's a lot of guys. I mean, you played on some good teams. You've played on some good teams, and you know that there might have been 1 or 2 guys that you can make picks. I told you it's like being a GM now. So now you got to figure out how you're going to draft, who we're going to pick up in the free agency.
Right,
That the
right.
transfer portal is like
That
the
the
free
free
agency.
agency, right,
So
right,
now you
right.
go in and you shop around for a guy that you need immediate need for. Try not to overpay because you only got so much of a budget, and you're trying to make sure you stay within that budget.
Right.
And I think we've done a tremendous job, and only time will tell how well we did because, we had to do some real adjustments on defense. I thought they were not that bad on offense. There was a lot of guys that's right out of here at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Ronnie West being one of them that plays at Booker T. Washington High School. He's an excellent receiver. D. Stevens, he's a real good receiver too. He came from Westlake. There's guys on that team that's phenomenal athletes. So let's just say that I would have took the wrong approach and said,
Get rid of
everybody go home.
Yeah. Everybody go home. Right.
Now my chances have lessened for me to be success. I'm depending on the transfer portal, the other things. And what if you don't get what you get? I tell you, the guy in the transfer portal for a reason.
What?
And people don't get
Wait a minute,
that.
time out, Coach. Say that one more time, Coach, please.
The kid is in the transfer for a reason. I always tell them there's a bruise on that peach. Let's find out what it is, and let's figure out if it's what we want to deal with. So when I tell my coaches we do thorough and investigation, background. I have a guy named Mike Hayes. Shout out to Coach Hayes. He does a lot of good work for us as our recruiting coordinator. Najee does a really good job. His name is Naya. She do a good job of taking it to the next level and making sure we get everything we need to make sure they're academically successful.
Right.
And then now we think about the football component because all three components has to go together.
Got to work. Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, retention is part of success. The more you can retain a kid that they know what to do, how to do it, and why it's important for them to do it that way, gives you an opportunity to be able to be successful in years to come.
Right. I want you to stay with that point for a second, Coach, because Bill Belichick always talked about when he went and he scouted guys, he always wanted guys who graduated.
That's right.
He always wanted guys with good grades because those are the guys I don't have to worry about. The discipline, they understand completing a task.
That's right.
How important is that for you? Because you just kind of hit on it a little bit.
No doubt about it. A kid that can graduate, he can retain information. He's a guy that's going to come and come be a good alumni. He wants to be a part of the program. Those things matter to me.
Absolutely.
All those things is like knowing what to do, how to do it, and why it's important to do it that way. He don't necessarily have to be the most talented kid.
Right.
But sometimes if you put him into place and he does, repetition is the motherhood of all learning. And when you do things, we live by the rule, keep it simple, stupid. So we want to keep everything simple so that the kid can and reps,
Right.
reps. The more reps he get, he's going to get better at it. And you've seen in high school football, and I think nobody can relate to, some people might can, but you've seen in high school where you saw that team that was super talented, that they done won 12 ball games, and they run up against this team that don't look like they got nobody that can play.
Beat you fundamentally.
They beat them
beat you
fundamentally sound when Johnny playing cover two, he take his 2 steps, he turn his butt, he where he's supposed to be.
They never out of position.
They never out of position.
They
And I'm talking about
never
you
out of
can't
position.
get him to bait on nothing. He ain't biting. He know his ability at cornerback, so he wasn't looking in the backfield because he trying to rely on his
Exactly.
athletic ability to make it up for him. Those are the kind of kids I like.
Yes,
And
sir.
everybody be like, well, this kid, nobody recruited the kid. And honestly, I read Belichick's book, and it worked. The biggest thing is it's a gamble, too. Because sometimes you could take a gamble on a kid, and they never turn out to be who you want them to be.
Right.
But we all found out that my favorite team, which is the Patriots, Bill Belichick, made some, he thought it was him. And Tom Brady said, I'm going to prove to you it ain't you. So I would be remiss to think that it's me. It's
Right.
the kids and how I get them to buy in and get them to believe in what I'm doing. And when you put them in fun systems, things that they like to do, then they'll play hard and fast for you.
Man, you just brought up a 30-year memory because Coach Greg walked into a defensive meeting one time and said, K-I-S-S. And we were like, keep it simple, stupid. And I was like, ever since then, I get it, Coach.
Well, I tell my coaches, it's not about how much you know. It's how much you can transpire to the kid and how much he can execute.
Exactly.
So even when it gets deep in my playbook and sometimes I want to go on and I be like, let me back up.
Right.
If I go out to practice
Right.
and I create a hit list, so it's about 70 plays when we start practice that week. By the time we get to the game, it may not be but 25 plays that get ran because I count how many times we executed that at a high level. I'm talking about we all still looking for the perfect play.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always happen that way. So if it's a chance that the kid's going, and I don't believe in drawing nothing up on the sideline either. I tell the kids all the time, the reason being, if I'm drawing it up in the dirt right here, 90% of the people over there not going to get it.
Yeah.
And now we got a better
It's
chance
not
of that
gonna
play
work.
going to work.
Yep.
It's not gonna work. Coach, it's funny you brought up this point, and as a play caller, and I don't know if you instilled this into your new play caller, I just noticed you're the kind of guy, if that play worked, I'm gonna just keep doing it.
I might.
Yeah.
I'm going to run it till you stop
Right.
it.
I might flip it the other way. But it's the same play.
I'm going to run it out of
And-
5 formations.
And you're talking about the keep it simple method.
That's right.
Are you teaching your quarterback? Because when you guys are 4 wide and when you run the shallow, you might bring the X, shallow him. You might take the Y, shallow him. Or you might invert these 2 guys.
That's right.
If
Swap
somebody
it.
going to be the shallow.
Depends on what they're doing. So what I do is I run a lot of half skelly. That's how you teach your quarterback. cut the field in half. I'll take the Mike, the corner, and the safety, and a wheel linebacker and put him there. So now he learns how to avoid. That cornerback know who is my guy. Who am I reading here? That's who I'm reading. So I teach him to hit feed. A lot of coaches want to teach a quarterback to read the whole field. So I cut the field in half for him. And I'd be like, look at it. Just like when you teach the first play, which is all hitches. We're going to say we're looking for the softest corner. Figure out which way. We're not taking a throw from one hash and put it on the other hash.
Right.
That's not the chances of that being successful.
Who you think you are, Dan Marino?
Yeah, I just said you can't do it. I just want my quarterback to make good decisions and stay on. We call it stay on schedule.
Right.
Stay on schedule. Stay ahead of the change. Know the downs and distance. Know what we got going on, and we try to teach everybody on the field to understand the situation and what's at play. So a lot of times when I first started coaching, I thought it was all about me. And I always wanted to draw up a play and, I'm going to call this today.
I'm going to kill him.
I'm going to kill him with this.
I'm going to kill him.
So then I learned that taking a strategic approach to what I was doing and making sure the kids understood what I was doing and not just calling plays to call plays. Yeah. So sometimes you may look at, he running the same play. I am, but it went from 11 personnel to 21 personnel,
right.
The trips. It might go 5 wide, and we can still run the shallow concept out of 5 wide. I like the bubbles. I like the slants. I like the hitches. I think the hardest play to cover in college football or pro football or any football, and Jerry Rice, if he was listening to me today, he would say the slant, the 3-step slant, is difficult for a cornerback to cover. Because when you hit him and he's trying to come bite down hard on it, you go slant and go on it. And it's a slant fade.
The slant. Coach, I've been studying you play with. You go slant with the bench.
That's right.
Then you go slant with the wheel.
That's right.
Coach, I've been studying. I seen it, Coach.
You been watching.
Coach, I seen it.
See, the good thing about it is the air raid. So I can draw it up, and I can give choice routes. So I can say, I'll just give you a position, Seattle. If I say Seattle, they know that's all slants. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I might say Seattle choice. So X and Z choice. So they know they got a choice route on that, long as you don't cover up the.
Right.
And you got to have a quarterback that can teach it. So we run into space. So we ain't trying to beat the coverage. We're just trying to find space.
Get in that area
find
right
grass
quick.
And get there. The quarterback going to try to throw it to you before you get there. So everybody be trying to ask, how do we stop him? Well, it's kind of hard because if you got a guy out there that's weak, and I'm going to find him.
We going to find him.
And when I find you, it's going to be a long day for you.
We going to find him.
And you on defense like, hey, dog, they coming at you, man. Do something. Go. Hey, they going at you every play, man. You need help? Coach, get this guy out of here. He's struggling. Coach, what in the SAC, what is it about this conference that people don't know? I think it's some great football. It's some of the best football. I love coming to watch SAC game. You being a part of it, being in, continuing this, what can people expect from SAC football?
SAC football is fast. And now what you're about to see is a different brand in the SIAC football because they're able to get their hands on players that we normally wouldn't be able to get. You're going to see rosters with Tulane. You're going to see people from FSU. You're going to see players from Alabama. You're going to see them from Power 5 kids that got signed but just didn't, now you got 2 years to play.
Yeah.
So once you sign up for a team, I don't care if he signed to nowhere. If he goes there and he don't make that squad and he not in that run as a starters, the next year he's going to be a spring. He's going to have to try to compete for a spot. Yep. And then after that's over with, they're going to tell him to get in the portal.
He in the portal.
And once he gets into the portal, now it's free game for everybody. So now if you got the resources and the places to get him in school, then bam, there's an opportunity. And I'm going to take you back to the reason why I chose Clark. Clark is probably one of 2 schools that offer like 6-level degrees, meaning you get a doctorate, you can get your master's,
right,
and you can go to graduate school. So now it gives you an opportunity to find a guy that was possibly he graduated from school, exhausted all his eligibility, but he exhausted his his graduation time. But now he can go to grad school and finish them 2 grad school seasons of one with us.
Right.
So now it's going to be exciting, man, because I think there's a lot of good coaches in the league. They pose a lot of problems for people. I'm very transparent with everybody. They know what I'm gonna do. They know it's coming, and the matter of it is can you stop it?
Can you stop it?
And that's what it is. And I got a great defensive coordinator in LC Cole. LC Cole is the legend. He's been around. He was the only black coach to win the OVC twice. Yeah. He's a legend. There's some things around him, but it always him. He's been a stand-up guy for me, and we run a pro-style defense, and it's been working for us. So I needed somebody to complement what we do offensively.
Coach, I hate to talk about this because I got a lot of CAU partners and the blacker the uniforms. The combination's always sweet, Coach.
I haven't gotten a chance to experience them, but I've seen them. But I haven't played with them and what we're going to
Okay,
put them
you
together.
played with
I ain't
me.
played with them yet to put them together. Like I told you, Clark Atlanta is a whole vibe. Every day there. I mean, you almost got an AAU center in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to keep everybody talk about Atlanta. Yeah, I got to just keep about it AAU center.
Hey,
when
man.
a kid ain't playing and he walk down that promenade all day,
Hey, man.
and by the time he get to that practice field, he looking at me like I ain't even playing. I got to make a decision today. What?
Listen, everybody, telling you from experience, Fair Street on a sunny day, that corner right there,
Yeah, coach. you got
trouble.
to keep an eye on him, coach.
Trouble.
It's
And
nice
like
and
you just
warm.
say, if you a guy who not getting no reps, you start talking to yourself like, man, I'm like 4th string. I might not travel this week.
And the thing about Georgia too, Atlanta, it don't get cold till about November, so you got a whole season.
Homecoming, you still on
Homecoming about to be
shorts.
popping.
I just want the folks that own the Juicy Crab wherever that's at mealtime. They need to shut that down during football season. Cause I call myself flipping practice one time, and I'm talking about everybody smell like crab meat and Hennessy. I didn't know what to say. I was like, this is what I got to look forward to in Atlanta. I thought that was where you just got your bag at. Well, what are we doing here? What are we selling here? And all the girls laughing at me because they knew they were going to sleep in the locker room. Things were going to be difficult for me because I'm waking them up that time in the morning. And I'm like, wow. Is this what I got to deal with? And we talking about Thursday? You know, we just trying to get to practice.
They don't foul the Juicy Crab.
Yes, sir. They all turn. Every place in Atlanta at 9 o'clock, it turned into a club.
It turned to
It's got a
love
live
hip-hop.
DJ.
It turned to love hip-hop.
They got the hookah machines to come out. So what am I supposed to do? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out a way how I'm gonna combat that. You know, you can't tell an 18-year-old who just got out of home with his mama and that girl looking pretty, and she say,
he got here free.
Yeah, he gone. Well, what? So we got practice in the morning. I ain't playing, coach.
I'm 4th string, coach. I'm cool out here.
Coach, do they still do everybody travel or they still dress 55 a conference game?
58.
58.
58 is
So, boy, hey,
That diesel you
a
just
lot of
boy,
people don't understand
that diesel.
what it's like not to see your name on that travel. And you can't look your name on that travel list.
You look backwards and forward. You know
Yeah.
your initials. You know your
If your
initials.
travel bag not out, you not going.
Well, if you getting 2 or 3 reps at practice, you already know that. Then you gotta ask.
If you ain't on no special
You ain't
team.
on no special team. That's when it really hit. That special team piece is when it really hit. If I'm number 3 at wide receiver and I'm not on the starting kickoff or the kickoff return team, what is he thinking?
We only take people that we need.
I ain't even going. Then that's when that walk from the student center down the promenade. He watching everybody sit down and they chill.
And you know you can't leave your dorm room on the weekend because everybody the game being played.
Hey.
Everybody know you play football.
Ain't
Like,
you on the squad? Hey,
why you still here? Man,
Man,
now you gotta tell a lie, man. Hurt my knee, man.
No,
My
they ain't.
bag.
They gonna say the man, the coach screwing over me, man. He don't even want me to play, man. He messing up my life, man. I'm going not a root. I'm gonna transfer.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna get the
transfer.
portal next year anyway. It don't matter.
I'm gonna get
out.
in the portal.
I'm out.
I'm honest with him. I'll be like, well, son, I wish you luck.
Hey, that fit day tough. So as a true freshman, I was the holder for the field. So I was always
You
good.
say you making sure you get out there.
I was never
You beat up.
worried.
You ran over everybody. Hey, I'm gonna be the holder.
I was never worried. I was like, I'm the holder.
I got on the kickoff team. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good.
Nothing like your name being
That's
left
my
off that
message
list.
to the young kids. When you're a freshman in college and you know that there's a team that was already there,
Yeah.
the best thing for you to do is be trying to, when they call special teams and the
sprint
meeting
out.
I'm talking
happens,
about
you better be
what?
sprinting out there. You better be doing
What?
whatever you need to do to get on that bus.
better
Because
sprint out
them
there.
last 11 or 12 positions that you get out of that 58 is 99%
Special
all
teams.
special teams.
All special teams.
Unless you got a couple of hidden gems somewhere that you know that you need to get them on the bus and find plays. And,
Right.
we was talking about, me with plays. I design plays for players.
Right.
I find players and I try to make them. If he the best player, he good. I'm gonna make sure you get the ball. I'm gonna find a way, because if I can attract enough attention to you trying to stop him,
It's
which
open.
allows other people to have
be wide
opportunities to
open.
make
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah.
So I spend a lot of time looking at film and watching people and saying, okay, we got to get number 7 the ball. You know, you watch your favorite team and you be asking yourself, like, man, why we can't get in the ball, man? Every time
He
you
need
touch
every
that
touch.
thing. What are you talking about? Then you got a mom up there. My baby play football too. Well, your baby ain't number 7. And you just got to be upset.
Coach, you real one.
You just got to be upset
Mama,
with
you
it.
don't see number 7 out here doing what he do.
Now you're being selfish.
You better tell your son do everything 7 doing.
That's right.
7 earned everything. All right, Coach. Finish with this, man. Talk to us about what people can expect out the CAU team this year, and what are your expectations going into this?
It's a process. I'm expecting them to win. That's what I expect in everything I do. I don't expect nothing less. I want excellence. I want them guys, even when we lose, we want to be able to come back out, figure out what we didn't do good, and figure out how to win. And once you get it and breed it into them, we talk about you can't win when you ain't right within. So everybody got to be right within. They
Coach
got to
dropping
understand.
Coach dropping tweets left and right.
That's old
I'm be
Lauren
tweeting
Hill.
all
That's
night
that Lauren
like
Hill,
this.
boy.
You got to understand now. I mean, what she said was powerful now,
That Lauren
and that
Hill
you
back
can take
there.
that into your life, man. If you want to, I think we call it karma, but I think that nothing happens for coincidence. I think everything is ordained, and I think that if you breed them to the kids, I am the Bible say I am, and when you speak that I am a winner, I am who I am. You start believing who you need to be, and then you eventually become who you need to become. You're talking to a guy that was the equipment manager, and I became the head coach of my program 10 years later. I played baseball in college. Not football, I played baseball. And then I went on to be successful at it. Got championship rings from it. It's just about I believe in me. And I want my kids to believe in. They be like, Coach, do you ever get... No, I'm not down. I'm happy. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Every day, I get to go out and do something that I love.
Do what you
and
love.
if you don't love it, and I can tell in your attitude, what you
Boy,
bring to the table.
it's
So
easy.
When I see their body language, I ask them every day, what you selling? What are you selling? You're not selling greatness today. If you walk in the door and you got a disappointment, you got an attitude. What's your attitude about? If you ain't playing, do something about it. I don't have a great player. I don't have a player that I think that's just my friend. Or I don't like a player. I like players that make plays. I like players that do what they got to do. If the moment you stop making plays, then next man got to come up. I lost one of my great players in the recruiting cycle to a D1 program. Not mad about it. They asked, I say, well, that's just another opportunity for another guy to
somebody
get a
else.
rep.
Yep.
So he need to be ready when it comes. And I tell him, you one play. If you're a quarterback, you one play. Most of the time, you 2 plays away. And I gave the story to the players. I said, man, when I was in high school, I went to a game and I had on my pads and everything, and I had my little, it was cold, so I had my jogging pants under my pants
Jesus,
and had my hoodie on with my helmet because I didn't know I was gonna play.
Yeah, you didn't want to play. Coach.
I ain't want to play because I
You
had
ain't
all the
wanna play.
pregame. You know the little bag they gave to the cheerleaders, give you the little bag. I had 2 of them, drinking sodas and everything. Second play of the game, guy go out, break his leg. And I remember the coach looking down and say, who we got? And the coach, you know you bad when the coach look back and say. And I saw the coach drop his head. So I got outside, I got ready to play. I got by the center, and I was playing guard because I was a little chubby boy. So I hit the center and said, who I got? He said, time out, get him out. He don't know what he doing. So the moral of the story is when you at practice, you got to take mental reps. You got to do the things you're supposed to be doing because if you ain't ready, your opportunity could come, and guess what? You'll be in trouble.
Sit up like that. Hey, what?
What?
Time out.
Quarterback looking like, who called that? Who called that?
Coach, man, thank you, man.
Thank you guys,
Hey,
man.
anything you need from us, Coach, let us know, man. We're going to definitely
We
be
excited.
there
Go
for you,
CAU, go Panthers. Be the
CAU
reason,
Panthers.
2024.
man. We got to end it on that, man. Be ready, man. Don't be with your jogging pants.
Man,
and your
yeah.
sweatshirts on.
It wasn't tight. Everybody tights, but tights. Get some Under Armour. Come on, y'all.
We'll see y'all next week, man. Thanks for joining the show. Peace.
From East Point to Buckhead, College Park.